breaking news we've been on top of for the past hour. Breaking now in Clermont County. Deputies are investigating a shooting, and it does involve children. Thanks for being with us. I'm Stephen Albrecht.
And I'm Ashley Kirkland. This all unfolding near Laurel Lindell Road in Monroe Township. We have multiple crews live at the scene gathering information. We begin with WLWT News 5's Jatera McGee. Jatera, what have you learned since we last talked to you?
Ashley, I'll tell you, it's a tragic situation unfolding out here in Clermont County, and you can see it on the faces of all of the law enforcement personnel who have been leaving the scene or coming to it. We've learned that this shooting, which is now a confirmed shooting, involves multiple victims and does involve children. Right now, investigators are still trying to get a handle on all of this. They're not willing to say much more about how this happened, who was hurt, the conditions of anyone involved. But we do know that numerous ambulances that responded to this scene have stayed here and have been here for well over an hour at this point. I can tell you we just spoke with a neighbor who was saying that he's just shocked watching all of this unfold. He wasn't home when it first happened, not really sure what went down, and he's also on the edge of his seat trying to understand what exactly is happening in his backyard. Take a listen to some of our conversation.
It's just a bad situation. Nothing like that ever happens out here. This is a quiet country and very nice area. So to hear this, it's terrible.
So it is unknown, or let me restate that. It is known that this shooting situation is no longer active, meaning it's over. There's no longer an active threat. Still clearly, by what you can see, an ongoing investigation. One of the things that we're trying to figure out when you hear that kind of terminology is what happened to the shooter. We don't know if they are at the hospital, if they are still on scene here, but there is no active threat, which either means they are in custody or no longer in a position that they can be shooting. Again, we know that there are multiple victims. We do not know how many. We know that there is a very significant police presence here, which tells you how serious of a situation this is. Just getting that information in from the sheriff a short time ago, and we asked when we might expect to hear from him formally and be able to ask some more questions, and he said at this point it's just too soon to know for sure. Reporting live, Jatera McGee, WLWT News 5.
Jatera, thanks for sharing what you do know at this point. And that neighbor you spoke with, does he know anyone that lives down that road or maybe in the home where the possible scene is?
Yeah, it's a tight-knit community, absolutely knows neighbors who live around here. He says he hasn't heard from anyone. No one's calling or has called him at least to figure out what's going on. But he doesn't know which home is involved. As you can see from where the scene is taped off, we have no vantage point as to how much further the scene goes. It might be the next house, might be 10 houses up the road. So neighbors here are in the dark just as much as we are, unless you're right next door to all of this unfolding. So it's unclear which home is involved. It sounds like police might be trying to make contact with family members of the people involved in this unfortunate incident and in this shooting. But at this point, neighbors, just like many of us in many ways, are in the dark.
Jatera McGee live for us in Clermont County. Thanks so much, Jatera. Those neighbors coming home to that scene, and you can imagine quite chilling for them.
Yeah, probably hard to just get to their home wondering what's going on. Why are all these police cars, sheriff deputies cars, ambulances out here? Yeah. So a lot of questions that still need answers, but we do have team coverage of this event happening out there in Clermont County. Lindsay Stone is not far from the scene herself, opposite end of where Jatera McGee is. Lindsay, what can you tell us? I know you've been getting kind of moved around a lot as you try to gather information.
Yeah, so we are here at Laurel Cemetery. That's where this new media staging area is going to be. We've not been able to talk to police, but I did talk to an officer just a few minutes ago. And as Jatera mentioned, you can just see the toll that this is taking on those who've responded to the scene. They are very serious. They are very somber. And so it's just really heartbreaking to see. It makes us obviously just very curious about what exactly has happened here. I will step out so you can see where we are exactly. We're at the corner of Clermontville, Laurel Road, and Laurel Lindale Road. Now you can see smack dab in the center of that intersection are two ambulances. They have not moved in the last 15 minutes. They're just back to back. There's a lot of law enforcement agents all around those two, but again, they have not moved from the scene. We did drive up about 30 minutes ago, and I did see an ambulance leaving this scene. But one thing I didn't see was a coroner. So we have not seen that on the scene here, but as you can see, multiple agencies here responding. Now, I do want to mention, we've talked about, we've been able to confirm that children are involved, which is so heartbreaking. We've not been able to confirm how many or their ages damages or those injuries. That's something that we're trying to hopefully get answers from the sheriff, the Claremont County Sheriff. We're told he will be giving the media an update, answering a lot of the questions that we have right now about what exactly happened here. But again, when I spoke to that officer a few minutes ago, he told me they're just in no place to give an update right now. They're still processing this scene and trying to figure out what exactly happened. As Jatera mentioned, we're not really sure how big of a scene this is. We've been able to see agencies not only down that Laurel Street, but also on Claremontville Laurel Road too. So we're not sure how big this scene actually is, but that's something we're trying to find out right now. Again, when we have an update, we'll make sure and bring it to you. But for now, reporting here live, Lindsay Stone, WLWT News 5.